Hi friends, thanks for watching. I just wanted to do an update about my tularemia, mycoplasma, Epstein-Barr experience. So I visited with the infectious diseases doc who said that the subsequent blood tests showed that I had no tularemia at all. And so he was like, maybe the testing was wrong, although they do like a major, like 7 different dilutions. So I had a ratio of 1 to 128 tularemia. So that means that there's a lot of tularemia, which is why he had me do a blood culture and so forth. But the tularemia did not appear again. So he's trying to persuade himself that there was no tularemia in the first place. Thing is, I kept on bringing up I had symptoms, and he had nothing to say about that. So, but if you watch my video where I went over the supplements I used for tularemia, I think maybe that, along with the prayers of my church and my friends, and myself, that I think by God's grace that I got over the worst of the tularemia. And I will point out, I didn't have a catastrophic amount of tularemia because I was able to get out of bed. I wasn't like incapacitated like I have been with other flus. But because I've been dealing with Lyme disease, I've been taking all these like super herbs and whatnot. So I'm, I was trying to heal something else. I was trying to heal my Lyme, and I think it actually healed the tularemia. So today is the first day I've been feeling a little bit better. Just like I can face my emails, I can face the telephone calls, I can face my schedule, which is just a blessing. And this has been like just like now, which is why I'm doing this video. So I just wanted to update you what might, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if what works for you would work. What works for me works for you, but here we go. So in the 90s, I heard that rose was a very high energy. There's going to be loud landscaping. Somebody's going to be chopping down a tree. So sorry about that ambient noise. Anyway, rose is a high vibration plant, and what that can also be interpreted to mean is that plants, trees, shrubs, herbs, everything has to have an immune system, because there are molds, funguses, bacteria, insects, whatever, that are trying to eat that plant or live off of that plant, parasitize the plant. So that's why we take herbs. That's why we eat certain vegetables like radicchio, because the helpful elements that's in that plant is going to be grandfathered into us, so to speak. So I really like the idea of rose. It's the highest vibration one. And so I got this rose tea, and organic India, and it has rose in it. And also, being that Dr. Klinghardt is a big fan of cistus rose tea, rock rose tea, I just figure rose is a good thing. So then I have these rose hips, this rose hip hibiscus tea. So I was just making that. And then a couple weeks ago, I got myself some rose water. I haven't had it in a long time. And then I started a homeopathic protocol. And for those who are doing homeopathic protocols, I would just recommend make sure you know what you're doing, why you're doing it. Like when you're seeing your practitioner, get a snapshot of the list of what the muscle testing told you, if you're into that kind of information. And also just make sure you have the correct sequence. So if you're doing phase 1, just make sure, even if you have 20 bottles, that actually all 20 bottles are the phase 1, because don't get confused about phase 2. If you get 2 bags of bottles, like you might think one bag labeled phase 1 is phase 1, and then you might think the second unlabeled bag you might think it's phase 2, but actually no, it's just phase 1. So just make sure when you're getting your, 20 or 30 supplements, make sure that the practitioner tells you this is all phase 1, because then that screws up the timing. And also, like when you have 20 or 30 bottles, like try to distinguish them. So what I figured out a couple weeks into it is that the one that you're supposed to take first to help with geopathic energy stress stuff, that's the one with the black cap, and then your regulars, everything else is going to be just the clear cap. So that's helpful to know. Sorry about if the clatter is really amplified on the microphone. So along with the rose, along with the homeopathics, I've also been doing my grapefruit seed extract. I have it turned upside down because I'm trying to get the last bit of the grapefruit seed extract. I've also been doing Lomatium, which is like a really popular antiviral, fungal, bacterial. I've been doing CBD oil. And I started doing this Streptococcus salivarius. It's an ear, nose, and throat thing. It was on sale. And so it has this salivarius in it. It has a little bit of zinc and xylitol, like 500 milligrams of xylitol, and some vitamin C, ascorbic acid. I'm not a huge fan of ascorbic acid because that's not necessarily the highest quality stuff you can get. But anyways, because I've been having tooth crumbling, I always have a chronic sore throat. I get chronic sinus infections. I have this really, this major double chin, which, I will see people who have 100 more pounds on them than I do, and yet they don't have this major double chin. So I'm thinking that I have a chronic infection in my gums, in my salivary glands, and that's why I have this double chin. So I'm hoping taking the probiotics will help any low-grade gum, saliva gland, parotid gland, I think is in there. So I'm just hoping that that will help reduce infection. And I also, another thing that was on sale is this polycosanol. And it has milk thistle, artichoke extract, ALA, and grapeseed extract. And I really put a lot of stock in those 3 herbs. ALA is supposed to be good for your brain, I believe. Anyways, what I do, having taken, I'm just going to take a sip of my tea here. I audited a class with Paul Pitchford, who wrote Healing with Whole Foods. He taught at Hartwood Institute in Garberville, California. And one of the things he mentioned is that it's very important for you to taste the supplements that you're consuming. The flavor imparts information and activates certain things in your system. So rather, when something's all kind of sanitized and desensitized, when you just drop it into your stomach, you lose a lot of the benefit of it. So anyways, being that this has grapeseed, artichoke, and milk thistle. I've never had milk thistle, taken milk thistle plain, and it's pretty, I think that's the part that's bitter. It could be the artichoke that's also bitter. But anyways, that said, I think that that's really, I don't know, I feel like I've turned a corner, and of course I'm praying because doctors haven't been helpful, and people just generally, who knows? Nobody knows about tularemia. Nobody knows about healing from, pneumonia naturally, especially not here in Missoula, but even, I don't know, talking to my friends, it seems like I'm this kind of idealist, slow learner too. So, like I still feel like, that we have the capacity to do anything. We have the capacity to heal anything as long as we put our minds to it. And just what I see around me is a lot of people are just accepting defeat. They're settling for this lower level of existence. And I mean, I'm a minimalist, I guess you could say. Like I don't like to I don't well, maybe I'm not a minimalist when it comes to supplements and vitamins and alternative care. I mean, that's, I guess, where I'm a maximalist. I'm trying to heal myself, or trying to find help to heal. And what I see around me is other people are investing in this like external things, and I understand parents have to provide the best for their kids and save money for their children's college education, and that they're paying off their mortgage and car payments, and that they have to plan for their emergencies, and they're taking care of their parents. I understand all of that, and yeah, I like that is all a nightmare. It is clear. It is clear. I mean, just observing people who kind of thrown their humanity under the bus in the name of accomplishment, in the name of productivity, and in the name of like kind of just being competitive, like like that's where they're getting their self-esteem. So, I mean, and who am I to judge? I understand, but I mean, I guess I'm judging because when I'm trying to cross the street and these very ambitious people are cutting me off like all the time, it's hard not to have an opinion. And then when there's a conspiracy of silence or collaboration, like then it's time for some sort of movement to occur. When like just a handful, or like let's say the car people who are driving cars have rights. Like that's how it is here in Missoula. The people who have cars are the only ones who have rights. And pedestrians, I mean, Missoula's trying to do lip service to pedestrians and bicyclists, especially bicyclists. But anyways, I digress. So my point is that it's unnecessary for us to settle for suboptimal health. There are answers out there, and the challenging thing is that our infections, our responses to infections are individualized, and so what works for me may not work for you, but I do like choosing things that have a broad, or that are powerful, like rose, like I even got some rose Dr. Bronner's soap. And speaking of soap, so I don't know if you experience this too, but oh my gosh, like nowadays, like every single bathroom has some timed Glade plug-in. So it's just like this totally toxic thing going into the restroom, and it burns my sinuses like every time I go, and then I feel like I've been clubbed on the head. And a lot of places don't want to pay for the air ventilation system, like your HVAC. They don't have a good installation of like air movement mechanisms in their building. They don't want to pay that extra bill. It's probably $100 a month or whatever for the electricity, the fan, to keep air moving in all the offices. So and then we're using progressively more and more toxic products, like your computer is off-gassing, your plyboard furniture is off-gassing, the rug is off-gassing, the glues are off-gassing, your own laundry fragrance product is off-gassing, your hair product is off-gassing. So, and this is in a building that has no air. So we're being cooked by all these chemicals, heavy metals, from your circuit boards of the computers and whatnot. not to mention like inks from printers. So that, and then added to the Glade plugin on a timer in a bathroom that has no ventilation. I mean, I really see no hope for humanity at this rate. And the thing is, people are completely oblivious. People do not think that being bombarded with probably 100,000 assaults of all different dimensions, like people think that somehow we're impervious, like something that a plant could not handle. Animals, like I see animals that I think are actually disabled now, like animals are kind of tripping, animals are kind of like not able to like their coordination is poor, and I see this in puppies, and I don't know if it's a Missoula thing. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I like, you expect older animals to have issues. Anyway, maybe I'm mistaken, but so there's the horrible fragrances, the artificial fragrances that are built up in bathrooms, and it's like you're going to the bathroom because you have a call of nature you got to answer, and it's not something that you can wait until you can get home for sometimes. So what I'm doing is I'm going to bring my own like hand soap, because I had like the past, I don't know, maybe a couple years I haven't been using their soaps, because in the soaps in most public spaces are this antibacterial soap. Not only does it have this horrible strong fragrance that gives me a headache, it like stays on your hands forever. Like the smell is just, I mean, it's just horrible. I mean, I don't know how other people are handling this. Like, I am using everything I got to just show up to be here like this. And other people, they're just like kind of gliding by. It's just like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed that other people are not, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just the canary in the coal mine. So in terms of bringing my own hand washing stuff, like I'm trying to find something that will not be an annoying bulky thing, and that I will use, but I don't want to spend like $7 on some natural hand sanitizer. So I have this old Tiger Balm jar, and I have this silver, little bit of a silver soap bar. So I'm going to see if that will work. I'm also going to try, so toothpaste is bad if it has glycerin in it, and unfortunately I didn't look at the ingredients. It's like you see the next, like, yes, these people are so smart, they know charcoal is good for your teeth, and then they put glycerin in it, and glycerin interferes with the surface of the tooth. It actually coats your tooth like almost like a plastic, and your teeth that don't fare well when it's coated. And I mean, we know that the tooth is like made up of like little tubules, so it excretes and it absorbs. So I am conjecturing that when you put glycerin on the surface of the tooth, apparently it increases cavities, and I suspect it's because it doesn't allow the tooth to breathe, it doesn't allow the tooth to sweat, or to purge itself, and then to take in nutrients perhaps. So anyways, I spent $5 on this toothpaste that is hard on, it's going to harm my teeth. So I figure maybe the activated charcoal would work as something I could use in hand washing. So I'm going to experiment with that as well. So thanks for watching, and that's the latest with me. God bless you. Remember to pray. Find Jesus. Save your soul for eternity.